Good morning. Welcome to Homestead Healthy. We're Bob
and Beth.
and today I'm going to make a recommendation for you. Something you should really try if you've never considered it before. We're talking about loofahs. Loofahs, what are they? Most people think of them as that hard sponge type exfoliator you can get to use in your shower. That's true. They do grow into that eventually, depending on the variety you have and how big they get. But it's also really good to eat. The loofah, the flowers, the leaves, the fruits, everything's edible on the loofah. It's good stuff. So let's delve a little further into it. Now let's start looking at some of the fruit we got here. Now this is Central Florida. It's mid-October and they're still going strong. They'll last hopefully throughout the winter as long as I don't get a frost, which is probably a good bet. But what I like with the loofah is it continues to grow, it continues to arch, it loves trellises, and makes a pretty decorative plant too. So besides being decorative, besides being something good to eat, something good for leaves, for salads, for soups, for whatever, and a good exfoliator, you can't lose. I cannot begin to tell you how many people are amazed when I tell them, you can eat this. This is an Asian vegetable, used a lot in stews, soups. It's almost a cross between a gourd and a cucumber, I guess we'd say. Flavor is very mild, flavor is very good. People go, yeah, but it's so hard inside. No. When it's first growing like this, you can see this one's about 2 feet long already, and it's only maybe 3 weeks old. As they mature, they'll start to turn yellow and then brown. That's when they're starting to dry out. When they're old, that's when they turn into the loofah, the sponge that we know that we use in the shower to exfoliate. This will get a little fatter. It'll turn yellow. Once it turns yellow, it gets just at that point where when you pick it up and feel it, it's not soft anymore. It's not rock hard. And you can tell from the weight, because a lot of the water's evaporated, that it's about time for it to start changing into a loofah. You can pick it, cut it, peel it, dry it out, get the seeds, grow more, and make the sponges. But a lot of them don't last that long because they are really good eats. We've got 2, 3. It puts off lots of flowers. You'll notice that you get continual flowers throughout the season on it. And as they grow, the flowers, they'll get a loofah growing from them automatically before they're even pollinated. They'll start growing a loofah. If they get pollinated, they grow. If the flower doesn't get pollinated, they die off. Again, like pumpkin, squash, anything along that line. You can hand pollinate. This one pollinated itself. This one I hand pollinated. I've got more on the other side pollinated themselves that are up high. You can do it easily. You got male flowers, female flowers. You can tell by looking at them. They're very easy to tell the difference. The male flowers don't have anything behind them except more flowers. The female flowers, I don't have any right here, but female flowers actually have the start of the squash, the loofah, the gourd. Just take off the male flower, rub it on the inside of the female flower. Or get a Q-tip, rub it around the section of the middle of the male flower, and then transfer it to the female flower. Very, very easy to pollinate. All right, I started looking around the loofah patch, and I found a couple that are going to flower here pretty soon, and the loofahs have already started, so I wanted you to see them, so you've got an idea what you're looking for here. You can see the loofah itself just beginning. It's only a couple of days old maybe, and where the bud will be with the flower. Let me move over. I've got at least, I've got 2 more coming up over here. So let's see if we can get into those for you. Looking around the trellis, you see here's one. There's another one started. Got another one up there. So 1, 2, 3, at least 4 started here so far. And in about a week, they'll be a good foot or more long. So easy to grow. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm starting to see more and more fruits. How do you want to pot it? I'm asked that a lot too. Where do you plant it in the yard? It's simple. If you live in, let's say, Orlando South, or you live out in Arizona in the desert, anywhere in the world where the soil is just terrible, sand, whatever, put it in a pot. As you see here, this one's growing in a trash can I found somebody had tossed out, a nice sized pot. It's got plenty of room to root. Fill it with really good soil. You can make your own, you can buy a bag, potting soil, whatever you like. But again, it's got to have some nutrients in it. Feed it every so often. Put some compost if you're making compost in. But the big thing, give it some good material to grow in. If you try and plant it just in the yard, I know here we're south of Orlando just a little bit, and the soil's terrible. You can grow Florida native plants. I've got some beautiful firebush trees and different things from that are native to Florida, but anything like this, forget about it. It's just not going to make it. Flavor. I've heard people say it's kind of like a soft marshmallow. Some say it's kind of like an okra without the slime. I tend to think of it as kind of okra type inside, but also kind of cucumberish. So again, a mild flavor. Cut it up. It goes well in soups. It goes well in just about anything that you can imagine. Plenty of recipes for it. And again, it doesn't have to just dry up and be used for sponge. You get plenty of loofahs on one vine, on one plant. So you got more than enough to use both. Experiment with it. Try it. It's good. So that about does it for another episode of Homestead Healthy. Again, I'm Bob.
And Beth.
And we're going to say thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed this. And if you never thought about loofahs, might be something you might want to try. I'm going to try and do some updates during the fall here to keep you posted on how it's growing. Right now, it's looking very good. Again, mid-October, and we'll see how far it gets. November, December, as the light gets less and less. We'll see if it keeps up. At least before the end, even if it doesn't do too well in December, January, at least by then, I should have it, I'd say a good 8 or 9 loofahs growing, enough to eat and harvest. As always, we thank you for watching Homestead Healthy today. Again, if you would, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know as I put up new videos each week. And please take care and God bless. Thanks for watching today's episode of Homestead Healthy.